This is actually Elon Musk's house, but this is another billionaire's $1 billion mega mansion, and we're going to show you everything from this king's $500 million villa surrounded by ancient gods to Jeff Bezos' $175 million home where Diddy parties were thrown, all the way down to this $1 cardboard box, which used to be Oprah's home, because when she was 14, she was homeless. But Elon Musk lives in a $50,000 box, except it's gonna give him cancer. Because recently, Elon sold all of his mega mansions in LA to live in this foldable tiny home by SpaceX. Inside it has everything he needs, like his sword, a miniature rocket, a pew-pew by his head, and enough Diet Cokes to cause cancer. Doesn't seem like he cares though. But Tiger Woods ended up getting scammed buying his $3 million island. Because even though it looks nice with a backyard golf course, hot tub, and its own landing strip so you can fly a private jet directly onto the island, when the island freezes over in the winter, the bathrooms stop working. Guess you just have to wipe with a leaf like an ape in the woods. But I bet you didn't know LeBron James practically worships apes at his $15 million crib. If you were visiting LeBron though, you wouldn't be able to tell immediately. Just looks like a normal Miami mansion with a dock, infinity edge pool with a swim-up bar, and an outdoor patio for cookouts we all wish we were invited to. Downstairs, he's got a movie theater with a popcorn machine, a pool table, poker table, wine cellar, and sauna. Really, it all looks pretty normal. But when you enter his office, you're greeted with the giant ape statue. I'm gonna avoid saying anything else about this. Bill Gates wanted something more exclusive than Miami though, so he bought a $30 million lodge in the most exclusive club in the world. Inside it looks like a normal expensive lodge. It's got that nice cozy feel with the theater, wine room, sauna, game room, and the bathrooms look like a 5-star resort. One of the craziest features though is that it has an indoor pool and hot tub, but you only realize why it's so exclusive once you step outside on his deck. Because all the snowy mountains you're looking at are meant for skiing, but only for members of the ultra-exclusive club. Yeah, this part of the mountain in Yellowstone National Park is the world's only private ski resort in the world. To join, Gates has to pay $50K a year for employees and amenities. But before he could even buy a property, he had to pay a $500,000 initiation fee. Then finally, he's able to purchase a lodge for $30 mil. To get to the mansion, Gates flies his private jet onto the club's personal runway at Yellowstone. Then from there, they take an 8-minute helicopter ride to their lodge. And since this is a private ski resort, there are no lift lines and over 100 trails of private powder. And if the employees catch you carrying your skis, they quickly run over to carry them for you. And if you get a little tired on the mountain and want a snack, they have 9 different lodges full of candy, hot chocolate, coffee, alcohol, whatever you want to take a little break. Now that's a completely different level of pampering. But Mark Zuckerberg got exposed at his $60 million mansion. It all started when he wanted to build his illegal mega mansion, because the old cabins on the property were historic, not meant to be torn down, and no new buildings were allowed to be added on the property. But Zuck must have paid a bag to skirt around the laws and destroy the old cabins. Because now there's a giant modern compound with multiple guest houses, pools, hot tubs, trails, fire pits, and a helipad for his Facebook Blue helicopter. But his favorite part of the property is the private dock that holds his water toys, like a giant rubber duck, paddleboard, and most importantly, his powerboat, where he felt he could do whatever he wanted in the water without being caught. See, he chose Lake Tahoe because it's one of the best places to go wake surfing in clean water, surrounded by nature, as well as being in California not too far from his work. And if you couldn't tell already, wake surfing is one of Zuck's favorite sports. But one day, he didn't realize the paparazzi was following, and they caught him looking like Shaq just busted a nut on his face. But Jeff Bezos' $175 million mansion almost got attacked by Nazis. Because the mansion Bezos purchased was previously owned by Jack Warner, one of the brothers who founded Warner Bros. Studios. You know, movies like The Matrix, Harry Potter, Batman, they all came out of that studio. But when Jack had just built it in 1935, he had started releasing the first anti-Nazi movies ever. And once the Nazis saw him making movies shitting on them, they were pissed. So they sent a letter to the mansion, saying if he didn't stop making those movies, they would make him. And attached to the letter was a full map of his house. Because of this, Jack didn't let anybody take pictures of the inside or around the house. And to this day, the house is covered in secrecy. That's why the massive bushes that surround the house cost $20 million alone. But we were able to dig up some footage of inside the property no one has ever seen before. And Jeff Bezos' new mansion has a nice old school fountain in the driveway, along with a pool, a 2-story gym, a tennis court, waterfall, a 9-hole golf course, and even a garage with its own gas pump. But there's also a guest house that Marilyn Monroe used to live in. Why? Because this property is known to have some of the craziest parties Hollywood has ever seen, and so many celebrities would attend that they needed one of the longest dining tables in the world. The parties thrown here ended so many marriages because so many affairs happened. That's just the Hollywood lifestyle, I guess. And if you're trying to see more of that Hollywood lifestyle, make sure to hit that sub button and like the video. But the Texas lifestyle is very different. And the $250 million ranch you're about to see is the craziest property so far, because Boone Pickens bought 100 square miles of land to build a paradise. Not only does it have some of the craziest views of the Texas landscape, it's got a golf course, hunting grounds, and beautiful lawns. But the best part is that they got enough water features to make any girl wet. There are tons of waterfalls all throughout, along with rivers, pools, lakes, aqueducts. It's insane. But leave it up to someone named Boone Pickens to make the interior look like a luxury Wild West lodge. Everything is a big Texas vibe, like the office, the gun room, a 2-story library, the game room, and somehow even the movie theater looks like Texas. And the mansion is so big, there are too many dining rooms to count in this place. And some of the rooms just have tables for seemingly no reason. Like, what are you gonna use all these rooms for, man? Of course you needed multiple wine cellars too, one of which looks like it's in a cave or something. But really, the only thing bad about this entire property is that it's in the middle of butt nowhere, otherwise known as Pampa, Texas. So it's a good thing there's literally an airport on the property too. That is a hangar so big that it can hold multiple private jets. So if you ever get tired of the country life, you could just fly to a city or even another country like Saudi Arabia, which has King Salman's Al Yamama Palace. This is the type of stuff you see in movies. But this is a real palace with some serious wealth. Spanning over 4 million square feet and one of Saudi Arabia's biggest cities. It would take you an entire day to look at everything. Marked by the signature dome in the center, this entire palace is worth $300 million. As we enter inside, you'll see a ton of stunning chandeliers, rich carpets, and gold literally everywhere. And how tall their ceilings are is enough to blow your mind. With remarkable designs throughout, the floors of the palace are made of high-grade Italian marble, which obviously is extremely expensive, especially with the intricate designs they have throughout. It also has one of the biggest home theaters in the world, multiple indoor swimming pools, and of course, a mosque. There are many international business meetings that take place here as well, and one of the multiple massive halls. There are actually over 1,000 rooms in the entire place. All that might make you forget that this is literally dude's home. He lives here. That oil money go crazy. But not as crazy as the old king of Belgium's money, because he made billions basically enslaving people in Africa. His name was King Leopold II, and he built this massive villa in the south of France during the 1900s, but was recently sold to the Ukrainian billionaire Rinat Akhmetov for $500 million. Unlike anything else we've seen, this villa has a ton of Greek gods surrounding it, like this bronze statue of Athena. This mansion also has the most over-the-top garden of any home in the world, housing over 20,000 extremely rare tropical plants and 25 different greenhouses. The cost alone to constantly take care of and maintain this type of garden is millions per year. The villa also comes with a giant horse stable that can hold up to 30 horses. And since King Leopold was committing war crimes, I guess he wanted a beautiful chapel on the property to get his prey on. Because once he confesses to a priest, he's all good with God. At least I think that's how it works. But they don't just got old stuff. They put in some new stuff too, like this Olympic-sized swimming pool that has some cool decorations, as well as this hot tub in the back of the guest house. Even though the billionaire bought it for $500 million, he lets anybody book one of the guest houses like a hotel for the low price of $17,000 a night. But the inside of the main house just looks like an old king's house. Honestly, I'd rather live in a modern house, like Ken Griffin's $1 billion home, the most expensive home on the planet. But it was almost impossible to build, and you'll never guess why. See, where Ken Griffin was trying to build his mega mansion is smack dab in the middle of one of the most expensive areas in the world, Palm Beach, Florida. It's literally nicknamed Billionaire's Row by the locals, because only billionaires can afford it. But the problem was, he needed 35 acres of land, and the mansions in this area don't go for sale that often. And on top of that, the owners that will never sell don't want a giant mega mansion being built next to their home, causing construction noises for years. So they'll do anything in their power to stop people from attempting to. But Ken Griffin was determined to make his dream a reality. So in 2012, he launched his plan of attack. Boom. He purchased 4 properties under 2 different shell companies, so nobody knew it was from the same person. It totaled 8 acres out of the 35 he needed, and had 560 feet of oceanfront property. All 4 properties cost him $130 million, and he immediately blew up all the mansions that came with them, just to set the tone. Now, it's all out war. His neighbors knew his plan, and are on his ass trying to stop him from going any further. I mean, bro, at least try living in each mansion for a week. Like, come on. Regardless, no one was trying to sell him any more property. But money talks. and after waiting 3 years, he was able to find another house for sale nearby. $15 million later, he acquired another 2 acres. He didn't blow up this one right away though, and actually used it, which is crazy because it's definitely worse than the previous ones he bought. But it was back to the waiting game, patiently lurking for the next property to go on sale. Then in 2017, he hit the jackpot. A mega mansion went on sale for $85 million right next door. It had 870 feet of oceanfront and 12 whole acres. Immediately, he was able to scoop it up, but now everyone is trying really hard to make sure nobody sells anything more to him. They're fed up. So when a property went for sale in 2018, he had to get a little sneaky with it. Somehow, he was able to use a ton of different people and companies to hide the fact that he was purchasing the property and was able to scoop up another 2 acres for $20 million. But this property was very different from the rest. See, previously, he had only been buying up oceanfront property. But you know what's on the other side of Palm Beach? A lake. And the property he just scooped up was a lakeside property. Now people are beginning to see his plan is much bigger than they realized. He isn't just building a mega mansion on the beach, he's building a mega mansion that's taking over the entire strip. So now he has 15 ocean to lake acres. And not long after that, he was able to purchase another 2 acres for $20 million. Then in 2019, he hit another gold mine. A lot next door that already was an ocean to lake property went for sale. And since so few people can actually purchase a property this expensive, he was able to cop it for a record-breaking $105 million. He almost had all the land he needed for his dream home, and later that year, he was able to achieve it. A beachfront mansion that sat on 4 acres went for sale for $100 million. And again, he was the only one willing to pay the price for it. Now he's in the process of building this mega mansion totaling 35 acres of property in one of the most expensive areas in the world, worth $1 billion. And this is a model of what it's supposed to look like once it's all finished.